What is up, everyone? So I'm going to be going over and reviewing the plug and play back paddles for the PlayStation 5 controller. Now, I've been looking for one of these that actually works in the market, and I think I found the perfect one. When I do some of my videos that includes opening up the controller and installing the back paddles and doing different mods, there's always someone in the comment mentioning that, man, I want to do this, but I don't want to open up my controller to install the back paddles because it can be a little bit intimidating. Well, I think this product is just for you, because after using this product for some time, I could tell that a lot of engineering and work went into making this product, just how it feels and the design of it. It comes with different modes such as turbo mode, macro mode, button swapping, clearing mode, which I will go into in this video and show you guys how it works and how to use it. And if you guys want to check out this product, I left the Amazon affiliated link in the description. So here we have the box for the controller paddles. It comes with a tutorial code, and also this pack can only be used with a wire. So there's a USB-C cable that comes with here that you have to hook it up with. Now, to take note, there's a few things that will not work with the PlayStation 5 controller when this pack is connected, such as you cannot charge it because you will be utilizing this USB-C port for the pack. You could also not use the voice chat, so this microphone is not compatible when using this pack. And as I mentioned, you could only use it for the wired. So when you hook this up, you will have to go into the settings and turn off the Bluetooth for the controller and make your controller be wired, which I will show you in this video later on. So you're going to get your manual book here, and here is going to tell you all the instructions on how to use it, which I will go in over most of the stuff in this video. And here you have your scorpion looking paddle kit here with 4 buttons. Excuse me, I mean paddles. And here are the 4 different buttons on here that I mentioned. I'll just get that zoomed in. So here you have the macro button. This is to map different buttons to the paddles. You have your clear mode to clear your settings, and you have your swamp AB swamp button, so you could swamp the buttons from each of the controller to your liking. And you also going to have your turbo mode. And aside from that, the last thing you will get is your USB-C to USB cable. So this is a nice braided cable. It's about 10 feet long, so if you're playing on a TV, you have some room to move further from the TV. And one thing to note, that this is the USB cable that you will need to use with this kit, because I tried to use a different one, but as you can see, there's like a little groove here, and it's right here, so it will connect perfectly. If you try to use a different cable, it's not going to connect because that's going to be in the way. So when you're first time connecting it, make sure that your PlayStation 5 controller is connected to the PlayStation and updated to the current firmware. And it snaps on pretty easy. You just hook it up to the USB-C port, and it's going to click in right here. And now you're good to go. So now I want to show you how to map and work this pack and all the different features it has. We're going to start with the macro mode. So the macro mode basically maps these buttons to the paddles, also different combinations. So once this blue light is lit, that means that the pack is good to go. And if you push and hold the macro mode for a few seconds, you're going to see it light up. And when it blinks red, that means you could map. So let's map triangle to this paddle. And now that when we push this paddle, as you can see, that button is mapped here. So let's do another one. So let's push macro. Let's do this one to the bottom paddle. So just like that, it's very easy. So now these 2 paddles are mapped here. Now there's another thing you can do with the macro, is if you push the macro, you could do different combination. So if I want to do this combinations, I'll push this paddle. So now it remembers everything I pushed is just controlled by 1 paddle. Now you could take it to a different level. I think there's up to 25 different combination buttons you could do the macro for. So macro could also do these buttons here. So you always got to push what paddle you want to map those to. So now, as you can see, when I push those L3 buttons, they actually hold on for the duration of the time. So let's do that again. So if I want to push this down and then this for a few seconds, so when I push, it actually times for the duration of the time I held those buttons for. So that's pretty cool. You could use that to your imagination to map any type of combination or whatever patterns you want. Now let's talk about the turbo mode. Now the turbo mode is going to turn these buttons into the turbo. It has nothing to do with the paddles, it's just the buttons. So to get to the turbo mode, we're going to push the turbo and the button we want, usually the trigger here. If you want to do your semi-auto to auto, so once you push it, so every time you push it, you see how the button spams. If you just hold it, it just keeps spamming. That's turbo mode. If you do turbo mode again,
sorry, I don't understand.
No, I didn't say Siri. So if you do that again, as you can see, the turbo mode is just going to go non-stop. That's like if you're doing Street Fighter and you want him to kick, 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 kick. He's just going to do kicking for infinity. And then if you push turbo mode again, turbo and that, and now it's back to normal. So 3 options. One like this, 2 like this, and 3 stop. So that's the turbo mode, and you could do that to any of these buttons. Now let me see, I didn't try it, but I think turbo mode could do only 1 button, but let's test it. No, I guess it could do all those buttons too. Yeah, so turbo mode is a little bit crazy, I would say. So that's the turbo mode. And then you have the swapping buttons. So the swap buttons, you could just swap out any buttons to whatever you want. So let's do, I guess, so we will push the swap button, AB swap button, hold it, still it blinks. So let's do this into that. And then push it again. Okay, something didn't work. Let's try it again. Let's do square and X. So now when I push square, it turns X, and when I push X, it turns square. So now let's clear out. So to clear out, set everything back to default. We'll just hold the clear button for a few seconds. And now nothing is mapped. So what you want to do is just make sure your controller is on Bluetooth is turned off. So if I go here, communication method under the general, you will see that it's on USB cable. So that's how you want to use this. Like I said, this will go inside the controller, and the other end of the wire goes inside your PlayStation 5. So the cool thing about these paddles is, if you used paddles before, like from the AIM controller or the Pro controller, they're pretty much laid out the same way. So when I got into playing with this controller, my muscle memory from using the other back paddles were just very smooth transition. So I didn't have any learning curve, or it took me time to adjust. Just because I've used paddles so much before, these are just like ordinary paddles I used before. The clicking sound and the responsiveness on these paddles is pretty good. They're just a little bit louder than what I'm used to. For example, with the extreme rates and with these, currently right now I use this controller, so just a little bit slighter on the sound, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. The most important thing is the responsiveness of the paddles, and these are very, very good. You don't have to push that hard for them to activate. The one thing that I did not like with the SCUF controller, as nice as the SCUF controller is, but you have to really push these paddles for them to work. And when I'm playing, you know, I just want to tap it slightly for it to activate, you know, to pick up a box or switch weapons. I just felt with this one you have to push too hard, and with this one it's right perfect. So overall, guys, if you're looking for an accessory like this that doesn't require you to open up controller and do all this messy work, just plug and play, I think this is a perfect item for you. I got it out of the box and within 1 or 2 minutes I was playing already. Like I said, it does require a wire connection. This kind of reminds me of the packs they had for the PlayStation 4 controller. Those were pretty popular. So this is kind of similar thing. I remember they had another pack like this, but it stopped working because PlayStation deactivated it or something. I'm not too sure, but that's what I've heard. It was maybe about a year ago. But this one, like I said, I got it out of the box. It works great. I highly recommend this product. It's very rare where I check out a product and I'm just amazed with it, because what, it's like $40. So if you already own a controller, it will cost you around $40 to add on 4 back paddles, and as I mentioned before, a lot of different features, not just mapping 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, but you could do different combos, macros, turbos, etc. So guys, again, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe. You really help me out. I'll see you guys next time.